Hey everyone, it's Billy Rude from 58 Magazine, and today's video we're going to talk about the dark night of the soul. To understand yourself is the beginning of wisdom. What's important is not a philosophy of life, but to observe what's happening inside of you and outside of you. This takes a great deal of awareness and sensitivity. You must have the intention to understand yourself, which is the intention to care about your future. Giving your whole heart and mind to care enough to understand who you are. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What holds me back from happiness? Is it fear of death? Fear of losing a job? Fear of losing a relationship? Most of the time, people have a fear of life. The moment we give our full attention to ourselves, the fear then begins to dissipate and we are free from the past. A mind that is not crippled from memory is then free. One of the biggest causes of fear is the fear of facing ourselves. We do not want to face ourselves, but this fear is only due to the movement of energy from certainty to uncertainty. Can you look at your fear without reacting? It is only when thought comes in when there is fear. Thought is a response to a memory, which has accumulated emotions in the body, which is due to the past. So we have to quiet the mind in order to see completely and clearly. When we identify our consciousness, our awareness, this observer to our dream, we then begin to learn that we are fear. We are not separate from it. When you realize this and release this control that we cannot do anything about it, then fear fades away. When we look outwardly to violence, suffering, pain, tragedy, hate, sorrow, jealousy, we must also look within ourselves. We must be completely vulnerable and expose ourselves to ourselves. And when we use our energy to dissipate fear, it produces a radical change in inward revolution. We are left with ourselves to live with. And knowing that we no longer need anyone or anything to help us, this is when we are free to discover. A mind with no fear is then capable of great love. And when there is love, anything is possible. Living in this present moment is the instant awareness of beauty and love of life without needing pleasure from it. And to discover ourselves fundamentally, we must have the capacity to go deeply, because what we are really doing is sharpening the instrument, which is our mind, and creating a sharp mind. And the mind, which has been made dull due to all this justifying, judgments, and condemning. And you can only penetrate deeply only if your mind is as sharp as a needle and as strong as a diamond. And in order to create a mind like this, you must want it. You must discover what makes your mind dull, because then this is the path to discovering ourselves. In order to live completely, fully in this present moment without any judgments or justifications or condemnation, and just discover and realize it as just what is. You must make the choice. Either you do it or you don't do it. There is no try. And when you're able to not make any comparisons or any judgments or condemnations at all, and just see every experience for what is, then this is where we find peace. We live with what is, and that is to be peaceful. So this is what we mean by quieting the mind, because we waste energy when we begin to compare and separate ourselves from everything else. And we carry with us these burdens of thousands of people and their memories and their misfortunes. In order to abandon all of that, you must become alone. And in this solitude, we begin to understand the necessity of living with who you are.
It is cold outside. You ought to go in.
Why are you on this porch?
It is not safe.
There are other porches. How is it you are brave when all the rest of us shake in our boots?
I do not worry about what will happen. Only what needs to be done. How did you know I was here?
I saw you at the window. When we are married, will you dance with me? I find dancing very agreeable. Why can you not say what is in your head?
Why can you not stop saying what is in yours? Why must you lead when I want to lead? If I want to dance, I will ask you to dance. If I want to speak, I will open my mouth and speak. Everyone is forever plaguing me to speak further. Why? What good is it to tell you you are in my every thought from the time I wake? What good can come from my saying I sometimes cannot think clearly or do my work properly? What gain can arise from my telling you the only time I feel fear as others do is when I think of you in harm? That is why I am on this porch, Ivy Walker. I fear for your safety before all others. And yes, I will dance with you on our wedding night.
And it is only at that time of this intimacy we begin to understand. So can you and can I be okay with living with ourselves as who we are, knowing ourselves to be hate, anger, fear, suffering, turmoil, condemnation, judgments? Can you live with that within yourself? This freedom, this solitude, and this intimacy of understanding yourself is what leads to freedom. And when you begin to go on this journey, the mind begins to see the experience of life beyond time. And this freedom lies within our consciousness. And so we cannot be frightened by the unknown because we've never experienced this unknown. We don't even know what this unknown is, and so there is nothing to be afraid of. Because we cannot live unless we die psychologically.
I'm ready to die.
You've been so brave, sweetheart.
Why are you here? All of you.
We never left.
Does it hurt? Dying.
Quicker than falling asleep. You're nearly there, son.
You'll stay with me.
Until the end.
And he won't be able to see you.
No. We're here, you see.
Stay close to me.
Always.